Welcome. This is Pam from Patient Advocate Match. We are a directory of healthcare services, and we want everyone to have access to people that you can learn to know, like, and trust in the healthcare arena. And today we are with Kel Ramirez. She is the owner of Keeping Grandparents Safe at Home. And we're going to visit with Kel a little bit today. She's got an exciting course that she's just launched. And she's a physical therapist, and we're going to have her explain a little bit about what her company does and her new course, and just share with you some of the awesome services that you can find our directory. So welcome, Kel.
Thank you.
So first, before we get into the new course, tell us a little bit about what your company, what you do.
So my company is, I've blog posts, free ebooks, courses, basically to help families with grandparents or aging parents, and they aren't sure how to help them, and how to help them be able to move in their home easier and be able to do things in their home easier so that they can age gracefully. I've been a physical therapist for 11 years, and I just realized I've been doing home health for 7. So, I've noticed, over the years that, I go into a patient's home and it's always after it's a reaction to something, they were hospitalized or their surgery or they had a fall, and we're in there to help them. And sometimes the families are, scrambling, trying to find the right grab bar, where to put it, the right walker, how to resize the walker, trying to get rid of rugs. And it's so many changes all at once. And that can be hard, as I wouldn't want my house changed all of a sudden so quickly. So, why not a little bit of prevention over reaction? So that's what the website is based on, is trying to get information out there from a physical therapist. This is how you size the walker. This is the right, use this tennis ball on the back of the walker versus this glider. This is why, so that families have that information as their grandparents or parents, get older, they can age gracefully, and hopefully they have that information rather than having to wait for something to happen, So that's what everything is based around. It's how to move in the home easier with the right assistive device, or, where to put grab bars and, bed rail. What if mom can't get off the chair very well? What do you do? So that's, that's kind of what everything is geared around. So,
And, I just want to point out something, that Kel said that is really important. She said she's been doing home health now for 7 years. And what a lot of people don't realize, and, my partner, Linda, and I also have a background in home health. When you work as a healthcare professional in home health, you realize more than anyone else how you want to help people, stay safe in their home. We get it. Kel gets it. She knows that your grandparent or your aging parent wants to stay safe at home for as long as possible. And who better to help you than someone who's experienced in home health care, because that's what we do. We keep people in their home for as long and as safe as possible. So you would be in very, very good hands with Kel. So I just wanted to point that out, that's very important, because a lot of people, you get in the hospital and you might see a social worker, and right away it's like, oh, I think it's time for a nursing home. I think it's time for that. And we're not going to say that those times may not come, but what we are going to say is it is our job and it is our passion to keep people at home for as long as safely possible. So Kel's got some neat things in the works that will help you do that. So Kel, tell us a little bit about your latest course that you have.
So my latest course is basically, I took the approach, as if, my mom was coming to live with me, okay, it's time, mom, you're going to come move in with me, or, watching my grandparents get older, how can I help them move easier in the home? And so that's what I built the course on. It's, they're having a tough time getting out of the chair. Here's the chair that you would look for. These are all the characteristics of the chair you want to buy. If you don't want to try the chair first, this is the cushion. This is the cushion that I recommend. Here's what you need to look for. They're having a hard time in the bathroom. The bathroom is it's tough getting on and off the toilet. It's tough getting in and out of the shower, all those things, where to put grab bars. Should you do a shower transfer bench, a stool, a regular chair in the shower, the toilet. They're having a hard time standing up from the toilet. Do you go straight to a raised toilet, or do you try a commode? In the bed, they can't get out of bed very well. Where do you put the bed rail? What type of bed rail do you look for? Because there are some that don't work very well, and there are some to avoid. So I basically created the course for every room in the home. I talk about entryway and walkway. Should you put a grab bar near the door? I talk about the kitchen, hallway, bathroom, bedroom, the major rooms in the home, whether it's apartment, studio, complex, huge house, and how to make it easier for your grandparent or aging parent to move easier. I have been doing this for a while. And so it's, mostly, this isn't to replace a physical therapist in the home. All physical therapists are great. And if, people have been recommended a home health one, take that. That's great. This is more for, my parents are moving to a new house and they're moving a little differently. We want to make sure everything is in the right spot. Mom and dad are moving in with me. I want to make sure my home is as, easy for them to move around in, or your senior grandparents kind of move a little differently, So that's what I have done is, basically created this course to try and help grandparents and parents age gracefully. I remember where I got this idea a couple of years ago. I was sitting down with a patient's daughter and she asked all the right questions. What kind of chair do I look for? What are the characteristics? Should we try a cushion first? Mom's having a hard time walking in the house. Should I get rid of this rug? Where do I put the grab bar? And as a home health PT, I provide that information as much as I can every time I'm in the home. But her mom had already had a fall. So we were she was trying to get the stuff as quick as possible, but she couldn't find, the information online while waiting for us to, come in for the appointment. So it was like, why can't we have this information before, so that's more of a prevention than a reaction.
And, and a good point to that is, I think most people would love to have that information up front before they start putting screws and holes in the walls, and, before they start, doing these modifications that they think is right, and only to find out that it should have been something different. So I think that's a great idea for people, like you said, looking for, if there's been a change or a move, and to be able to know ahead of time, with expert knowledge by you as a home health, physical therapist, to be able to advise, and teach them on what would be the best option. So that's amazing. Kel, how do they find out about your course, or where do they go to register or to?
Yeah, it's all on my website, keepinggrandparentssafe.com. There's, on Instagram too, if there's a direct link to the course, it's called, the masterclass to, helping grandparents age gracefully. That's the full course. It's everything, it's, I go through as much information as I can. I go through slides. I also do demonstration videos. This is why this shower transfer bench works. This is why, this in this scenario, this is why you'd want a stool, and so I show where to put grab bars. It's not just me talking over slides, there's demonstration videos and everything. And it comes with I keep forgetting, it's 47 or 49 page ebook. And it's the same information, but it's something that you can give to your grandparent, so, hey, this is what we're going off of, if you want to read it, here it is. Everyone learns differently, Some people learn video wise, or I'm a reader. I just want to read it, so that's why I did demonstration videos, slides, and the book. And it's all online, on the website, or you can go, there's a direct link from Instagram. And then there's also, a smaller one. It's just kind of an intro. It's just it's a 21 page ebook. So if you kind of just want to get started, that one is called The Secret to Grandparents Aging Gracefully. And that's just a 21 page basic book to get started. But the full course, is up on the website. You get, direct access, unlimited access, it's ready to go. So
That's awesome. And, you know, when you mentioned that you're doing instructional videos, I think that is just so beneficial because like you said, you know, people learn in different ways. And some people that need that visual, you know, to be able to see in action how to do it. I kudos to you for thinking of that. I think that's very important, you know, when you're teaching, you know, someone those types of things that you work with is to have those demonstration videos. So that's awesome. So what is next for keeping grandparents safe? What are you working on next? Can you give us a sneak peek?
Yeah. So my next is 2 mini courses, you know, so not quite as big as this full home course, but 2 mini courses, one on everything about walkers and one on everything about canes. Because, you know, sometimes you watch mom walk and you're kind of thinking, mom, you know, let's get you a cane, you know, and mom, you know, do you want PT? No, mom doesn't want PT. Okay, but mom agrees to a cane. How do you size it? Which one do you get? There's, you know, at least three main different types. You know, there's single point cane, 3-point cane, and a quad cane. And a lot of people think quad canes work great. And actually, most people are very annoyed with them. So, but there's particular situations for the quad cane that work well. You know, how do you know which cane to get? And sometimes, you know, people will just get one and they try it out and then, you know, it doesn't work and they don't know why. So they have to go back to the store and try another one. And that's okay, you know, but I created the course to kind of show everything. You know, for walkers, it's the main question everyone has is, do I get a 2-wheel regular foldable walker or the 4-wheel walker with the seat? And sometimes people have both, and sometimes one just does not work very well. And yeah, going to a home or a regular physical therapist or home care PT, that's the best idea. But sometimes that doesn't work. You know, insurance doesn't approve it. Mom or dad doesn't want to go. So I created the course, you know, everything. And then also, you know, it's how to size the walker, what to put on the bottom of the walker. Do you put tennis balls? Do you put gliders? You know, how to take the wheels off and turn them if you need to. You know, I'm going to cover every single detail I can think of because, you know, ideally you work with a PT, but that's not it. Sometimes you're waiting, you know, and I've been in the homes where someone's been using the walker at the wrong size for months, and it causes shoulder pain, causes you push the walker too far in front of you. You know, you hunch over more. So here's the information. I'm putting it all on the course. So they're going to be smaller.
That is so awesome, you know, because I see a lot in nursing too, you know, people right away, they kind of gravitate for those 4-wheel walkers with the seats because, oh, it's with the basket on it and that's the Cadillac. But
yeah, the
Cadillac. You know, if they can't, you know, if that walker gets away from them too much and, you know, it might not be the best choice for them. So, you know, it's really important that they work with you or like you said, a therapist to determine what is the proper equipment that's going to meet their needs because it's not a one size fits all.
No.
And so I think that's a great course that you're working on and very, very needed. I know we were talking a little bit earlier, you know, in working with people that are in a caregiver role, just having what questions do they have overall in managing the care of their aging parent or grandparent. And that came up very frequently is what do I do with the equipment? And so I think you're spot on with being able to provide that information. And I think that would be very, very beneficial. So in wrapping up, Kel, is there anything about keeping grandparents safe that we haven't talked about that you would like to take an opportunity to mention before we go?
No, I think that's it. You know, there's, you know, if you don't want to buy anything, you know, there's free blog posts on there. You know, I talk about, there's a blog post on there about which cane to put the hand in. You know, that's an important one. I'm working on a blog post on where to buy the equipment. You know, if you don't want to try to go through insurance and you know, you need it tomorrow or whatnot, or you don't want to go through Amazon. And so I'm working on those things. So there's, you know, blog posts. I am trying to get those out there. And then the free resource library, I think I lose track, 5 or 6. I think there's 5 free ebooks in there. Top 5 exercises to do at home, what to do about rugs, what to do about lighting, you know, so there's a bunch of free stuff on the website too. And links on Instagram.
I do have one question that comes up, I know with our clients. And so Kel, somewhere do you address like what Medicare covers or how often you can get a new piece of equipment? Is that something that you have any information on?
I'm going to try to include that in this blog post. It might be too much information for this one. And if not, maybe in the future, I know that a lot with walkers, the OTs tend to know a lot more about the shower equipment, but like a walker, many of the times Medicare will cover a percentage of it, but you have to go through a DME store, which they're great. But sometimes by the time you pay your portion of the walker, the front wheel walker, I don't think they cover the four wheel walkers anymore, that by the time you pay the portion of it, you could have bought the same one at a lower price, from Amazon or Walmart. Yeah. So
it's not always as cost effective to go that route. Then.
No, it used to be like 5-10 years ago, but they've changed. So if it's not in this blog post, I'm going to work on it for another one. So
awesome. Well, Kel, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing today. You have a wealth of information that is so valuable, to keeping our aging parents and grandparents safe at home. So we look forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you again for having me on here.